It's music theory. Online, let's learn some theory. Online, by watching modules. Online, with music theory. Online.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Roxanne McGahey. Over my many years of teaching, I found that there was a need for an online theory course that provided the same level of high standards, support, and encouragement found with your traditional private music teacher. That's when Music Theory Online came about. You can watch these modules as frequently as you wish, and of course you'll be expected to do the assigned homework. If you have questions, we're here to answer them online, by phone, by webinar, or at Theory Club. We're here to help you every step of the way. In senior theory, we're really just applying the final touches to your theory knowledge. As you'll notice with this module, we'll be reviewing previously learned concepts and then building on those. Let's begin by reviewing the diatonic scale. The diatonic scale is 8 consecutive notes arranged in alphabetical order. These notes ascend and descend sequentially, and the first and last notes have the same letter name. There are 2 types of diatonic scales, major scales and minor scales. The order of tones and semitones, or whole steps and half steps, determine what type of scale it is: a major scale, a natural minor scale, a minor harmonic scale, or a minor melodic scale. Major scales are one of the types of diatonic scales. What makes a major scale is the order of tones and semitones, or steps and half steps. All major scales have this order: whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. I love waffles, so to me it really helps me remember the order of tones and semitones if I say waffle, waffle house, waffle, waffle, waffle house. Will that help you remember? If you're used to using tones and semitones, the order is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. This is why we need key signatures. The key signatures ensure that the order of tones and semitones, or steps and half step, work no matter what key you begin on. Minor scales also have diatonic scales. As you know, there are 3 types of minor scales: natural minor, harmonic minor, and melodic minor. Here we have the natural minor scale. We have a whole step, a half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Another way of saying it is tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. The way I remember this one is 1 tone and a semitone, 2 tones, a semitone, and then 2 tones. You could also say waffle house, waffle, waffle house, waffle, waffle. The harmonic minor scale has the 7th degree, or the leading note, raised. It's best to begin with the natural minor form of the scale and then raise the 7th degree by a semitone or a half step. In the harmonic minor scale, the 7th degree is also raised descending. In this example, the descending G sharp should not have an accidental in front of it. That G would still be sharp because the previous G sharp is in effect until there's a bar line. The only reason I'm using this example is because it does demonstrate that both G's must be sharp. Let's look at the tones and semitones in the minor harmonic scale. We have a tone, a semitone, tone, tone, semitone, a tone and a half, and then a semitone. The tone and a half is unique to the minor harmonic scale. Again, this order of half steps and whole steps, or tones and semitones, is what gives the minor harmonic scale its sound. Remember to always begin with the natural form and then raise the 7th degree by a semitone, ascending and descending. Here's what the minor harmonic scale sounds like. In the minor melodic scale, the 6th and the 7th degrees of the scale are raised ascending and they're lowered descending. When descending, the minor melodic scale is identical to the natural minor scale. That means the order of tones and semitones is different ascending than it is descending. Here we see the order of tones and semitones, or whole steps and half steps, in the minor melodic scale. This example is in C minor, which means we get a chance to look at another minor key. We have a whole step, then a half step. We then have 4 whole steps in a row and a half step from the 7th to the 8th degree of the scale. The ascending minor melodic scale is quite easy to remember. The melodic minor scale descending is the same as the natural minor scale. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. Remember that minor scales must borrow the key signatures from their relative major scales. Minor scales do not have key signatures of their own. Only major scales have key signatures, which means that you must find the relative major in order to find the key signature. Let's just review the technical names of the degrees of the scale. The 3 most important degrees of the scale that you've already learned are the tonic, which is the 1st degree, the dominant, which is the 5th, and the subdominant, which is the 4th. The supertonic is the 2nd degree of the scale, mediant is the 3rd, submediant is the 6th, and the leading note, which you already know, is the 7th. So when you say it in order, you have tonic, supertonic, mediant, subdominant, dominant, submediant, leading note. Let's take a look at these scales and determine what the key would be, and then what technical degree of the scale these scales are written on. The first example is easy because the key signature is given. We have 2 choices, either E major or C sharp minor. This is an E major, and the scale is beginning on the dominant of E major, which is B. The third example has F and C sharp, which is the key signature for D major. This is the scale of D major beginning on the subdominant. We reviewed diatonic scales today, both major and all 3 forms of the minor scales. This has been just a review for you. The big thing to remember is that at this level you could be asked to begin on any technical degree of the scale, so you need to be very careful of where those semitones fall. Also, if you're in a minor key and need to raise the 6th or the 7th degrees of the scale, be careful. They won't be where you expect them to be when you start on a different degree of the scale. There were no new concepts in this module. However, it's very important that you're comfortable with major and minor scales. In the next module, we'll be learning about modes. I look forward to seeing you at Theory Club this week. Have a super duper week. Bye now.
It's music theory online. Let's learn some theory online by watching modules online with music theory online.